Where is Katt Williams, and why has he been silenced? Why? Why? He's the most dangerous person today, and he's paying attention. Look, if they can get to Charlie Kirk, they can sure as hell get to him. Now, there's a question in the mainstream media press that nobody wants to touch, and it's one that cuts across culture and race and politics and entertainment and whatever the hell this is called, and truth itself. And the question is, what happened to Katt Williams? Now think about this. Oh, you'll see him now, every now and then popping up on some short. But where is he? You see, this isn't about a stand-up comic disappearing from the stage. This is about a man who for years has been one of the only figures willing to break the barrier, to talk in essence about things in his raw, unfiltered, unique way. Things that make both the left and the right and white and black deeply uncomfortable. I mean, he is, and whether you realize it or not, I don't really care, one of the few authentic conduits between black and white America. And that makes him dangerous between conservative truth seekers and liberal skeptics. And that's what makes him dangerous. Between the street and the suite and the ivory tower. And that's what makes him dangerous. He's fearless. He was fearless. He was loud. He was funny. But he was also dangerous to those who prefer silence. So what happened to him? I thought he was the greatest. I mean, and I still say, if he hasn't just basically caved in or thrown in the towel, maybe he's still there. So why is he so quiet now? Well, it all was the Shannon Sharpe moment. Oh, yes, yes, yes. You see, when Katt Williams sat down with Shannon Sharpe not long ago, the world paid attention. It was explosive. That interview went viral. And, of course, Shannon Sharpe, he self-destructed, but that's another story. But that went viral because he didn't just tell jokes. He told truth. And by the way, you notice he was drinking and not smoking, because when he smokes, he gets all goofy and squishy and lunatic. But this is a different story. He spoke about corruption in entertainment, manipulation behind the scenes. Oh, yeah, baby. Exploitation, the politics of comedy itself. He said things in that unmistakable Katt Williams style. The cadence, the fire, the humor, the machine gun attack, that biting, cutting humor, cutting through the darkness. Interesting pun. Through the unmistakable fog of lunacy. But the message was unmistakable. See, it wasn't just comedy. It was whistleblowing. And they saw that. And they realized, uh-oh. And then he showed up a couple of times. Once on Rogan, once here. And he backed off. And later on he said, I don't know if I want to do this. He's smart. Because they got to him. You see, what made it even more powerful was that he wasn't coming from the Alex Jones camp or Fox News or Tucker Carlson or Breitbart. Oh, no. He was coming from inside black culture. Imagine that, inside Hollywood, inside the very world that works overtime to keep its secrets buried, to keep his secrets secrets. Now, when he and Monique in particular spoke up, when others started whispering similar truths, the cultural dam started to crack. And I mean, here were voices from within the entertainment machine confirming what many of us on the outside or inside, the skeptics, the conservatives, the so-called conspiracy theorists, what we had been saying for years. And that's what's critical. And then, silence. What happened? What happened? The classic playbook: discredit, distract, destroy. Here's where it gets dark. Again, these puns. The system, call it Hollywood, call it entertainment, industrial complex, whatever, call it the deep state of comedy. They have a very similar playbook. You see, when someone gets too close to truth, you don't argue with them. You don't debate them. You destroy them. Charlie Kirk. Remember, look at how the media have handled past black comics and entertainers who went off script. You make them look crazy. You tie them to drugs, even if they're clean. You push stories about violence and chaos and instability. You make sure that if anything happens to them, an arrest, an overdose, even worse, the public shrugs and says, well, that's what happens to those people, you know. I knew it. I thought he was different, but it's the culture, right? Sound familiar? Because this happened again and again and again and again. Remember Martin Lawrence? I don't know what happened to him, but they just said, once you're called crazy, that's it. And I'm going to say it. Katt Williams is walking at the razor's edge. His boldness, his willingness to stand up and call out corruption makes him dangerous to those who profit from silence. Oh, no, you don't dismiss what I'm saying. Charlie Kirk was the warning shot. I'll tie this into what we just saw with Kirk. This is a conservative voice, gunned down, mocked by teachers online, written off by the very establishment that claims to defend free speech. The message is clear. If you step out of line, if you cross the boundaries, you're next, no matter who you are. That warning doesn't just apply to conservatives. Oh, no, it applies to everyone. Black, white, liberal, conservative, anyone who dares to unite people across those divides and point to the corruption between the curtain and not ask permission. You see, Katt Williams did that. He didn't speak in the language of think tanks or white papers. Again, these puns. He spoke in street language, in humor, in cultural shorthand. He connected. He reached people that Alex Jones or Tucker Carlson might never reach, and vice versa. And that's what made him dangerous. That's what made him dangerous. And just like that, he's gone quiet. Coincidence? I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a moment. Then there's the disappearance. What happened? Why don't we see him out and about anymore? Why are his appearances so few and far between? At least compared to before. Where's the fire, the fury, the comedy as truth-telling that made him a household name? What happened to him? Maybe he wised up. Maybe they got to him already. Some say he's just laying low, working on new material. Others whisper about industry blackballing, deals falling through, projects killed behind the scenes. Who knows? But there's another possibility, one that fits the pattern we've seen before and one that we've talked about. He's being silenced. Again, Charlie Kirk. Maybe through pressure, maybe through threats, maybe through the kind of subtle intimidation that never really makes the news, but is very real in Hollywood circles. Make no mistake, my friend. When someone with a platform that powerful starts talking about things they're not supposed to, the calls get made, the networks close ranks, and suddenly that person isn't booked, isn't promoted, isn't seen. It works just like that. This is what happens. This is what happened when truth threatens profit. Pay very close attention. Now you ask, what is so special about him? Why does he matter? Here's the point. Katt Williams isn't just a comedian. He is, in many ways, the connective tissue between America's fractured audiences. He could stand in front of a black urban crowd and talk about corruption in Hollywood, and those people nod along. He could speak to conservatives disillusioned with government and media, and they nod too. He created a rare overlap, a shared space of skepticism and resistance. That's exactly what happened. And that's what unites people, interestingly enough. That's what scares elites, interestingly enough. Now, because division is the game, keep black and white divided. Keep conservative and liberal divided. Keep everyone arguing about surface issues so nobody really looks behind the curtain. But Katt Williams, he ripped the curtain open with a joke, with a rant, with a laugh. And suddenly the people from different worlds realized they were laughing and nodding at the same truths. That's exactly what happened. And that's power. That's dangerous power. That's real dangerous power. And the silence speaks volumes. So why is he quiet now? Maybe he's choosing it. Maybe he's regrouping. Or maybe, just maybe someone decided he was speaking a little too clearly for a little too long. See, if history is any guide, and it always is, the system will do everything it can to erase him, to reduce his voice to a caricature. Another comic gone crazy. Another black entertainer caught up in drugs. Another voice discredited before it can connect to many dots. Now, here's the thing. You can silence a man, but you can't silence the truth. Never forget that. Katt Williams said what he said. Monique said what she said. Others are whispering the same truth. And once those words are out there, they can't be taken back. And the bottom line is simply this. We need to ask why the voices that always dare to unite us, that dare to speak across cultural and political boundaries, why are they the very voices that get silenced the fastest? Why? Because Katt Williams wasn't just making people laugh. He was waking people up. He was making people think. He was making people ask questions. And if he's quiet now, maybe it's not by choice. Maybe it's by design. I hope it's by his choice. But he's got to get out there now. And if that's the case, that every American, left, right, black, white, whatever, should be asking one question. What are they so afraid to hear? What are they so afraid we'll hear? Now, my friends, I want to tell you about something very, very quickly. If you've just tuned in, you will find out that I have been a proud sponsor of, and we've had as a proud sponsor, preparewithlionel.com. Let me tell you something right now. Believe me when I say this. You could not last a week if all food stores closed. If you couldn't go to a store, you do not have enough stored emergency food to last a week. You don't. You don't. You absolutely do not. I know this is something that people say, what are you talking about? Emergency food. Yes, emergency food. That's exactly what we're talking about. Because today, my friend, we're talking civil war in the streets, false flags, lockdowns, riots, blackouts, supply chain sabotage. This isn't theory. It's reality. And the elites are dismantling everything on schedule. 1 week without food. 1 week and the system collapses. And your cash, crypto, gold are worthless when your family is hungry. When hunger is the weapon. When control is the plan. That's exactly what's happening right now. Survival, my friend, is primal. Listen to me. Food, water, energy, ammo, that's it. That's the game. That's why I trust My Patriot Supplies 3-month food kit. Over 2,000 calories a day. 22 meal varieties. Shelf life up to 25 years. And right now, 4 weeks free. A $247 bonus. So go to preparewithlionel.com. It's the link in the description section. Go there right now. Secure your food. Protect your family. Lock down your future. The storm is here, my friends. Preparation isn't paranoia. It's survival. Preparewithlionel.com. Thank you for watching. Please like this video. Hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And make sure you subscribe. 80% of the people who watch our videos don't subscribe. That's a shun. That's a travesty. My friends, I ask you right now to comment as you see fit.